moving into game number 1. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris, we have the blue Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong representing the Juggernauts. It is GogojOey. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player from the land of China. It is Coffee. Here we go, and this is a very high-profile matchup, I'll be honest, and one that I'm surprised that we got our hands on as well. Coffee is one of the stronger Terran players in China. I would say top 2 alongside Oliveira, especially last year. But this is something that I wasn't really expecting to actually occur in this season. The reason why I say that, for those that are curious and for those who maybe heard themselves, Coffee retired. Coffee announced his retirement at the start of the year. I believe it was after the end of the last season of WTL, leading into summer, or actually maybe even leading into winter. We did have Coffee announce his retirement. He left Invictus Gaming and he left the competitive scene for like a month. Like a month, maybe a month and a couple of weeks. And then after that, he started popping up again. He started popping up in some online tournaments. I didn't reach out. I didn't ask him about it, but I did notice it. And I was like, is he just playing for fun? Like, is he back? Is he not? And then he started playing in more and more. And then he started playing in the qualifiers. And it's like, I guess he's back. I mean, he's teamless. He isn't on a team. He isn't being supported by IG anymore. But regardless, he's still popping up in these events. He's still putting in the practice and looking damn good as well. I don't think he's quite at his prime like he was last year, but still a very formidable opponent nonetheless. And it's great to see him back. You know, you're never really gone, sort of thing. Like, how many times did Tasia retire before he finally left? And is he ever really gone? Same with Neeb. That's another one. So yeah, it's great to see Coffee back. And again, even though he did take some time off, he's still a very formidable opponent. And he's up against GogojOey, of course, the best player in all of Hong Kong. The Kong from Hong Kong, if you will. And yeah, we'll see if he can take him down. For now, the Reaper has Rival was a standard opener out of Coffee. Meanwhile, GogojOey, he is going to be skipping Ling speed, and he's going straight for some tech. And as we get into that, the Reaper still gets 2 Lings. Oh my god. No drones. He wants that worker, but alas, a quick morphin of that Spore. Coffee will keep that drone alive. And in that main base, we have a Roach Warren. Now, Coffee, he's going to slowly piece this together. He checks the linear third base, sees no third. He's going to check the triangular third base as well. There is no hatchery. This is already suspect. And now Coffee, he needs to figure out, is there a Bane Bust? Is there a fast Roach Warren? Is there a 2-base lair? There are different possibilities that this could be. Back at home, Coffee is going for a 1-1-1 bunker on the high ground. He knows. More or less, he knows that something is wrong, something is amiss. He's going to go in for confirmation, and Coffee will get eyes on the Roach Warren. Very good scout here from Coffee. He gets in. He doesn't quite get a drone. Good control out of GogojOey, keeping that worker alive. He shuts down the Reaper, and he's pushing. Roach is already waddling across the map, but Coffee's ready for it. He has a bunker. He has a Cyclone. He's going to be pulling the boys out of his natural base. He's aware that he will lose control of his natural. His goal, hold on to the main. To hold onto the main base, and GogojOey retreats. Very mature decision. GogojOey, he does pull back, and he forced an overreaction out of Coffee, but there we go. He realizes that something is wrong. The army isn't coming, and he pulls back in. He Maynards his SCVs over towards that natural, and the game will continue. So again, really mature of GogojOey. Because he got scouted, he knew that he could not commit to the all-in, so he backs off, he drones, he takes the third base. Now, GogojOey is in a rough position because his economy is weaker than it otherwise would have been in a standard opener. But he has roaches, and he can stabilize if he doesn't take too much damage. We have Coffee moving out. He catches an Overlord in the center of the map. Overlord will go down. Job moving out as well. These are vanilla Marines, but Marines nonetheless, and that's, oh my god, quite a lot already. 7 Marines in total. We're pushing up the ramp into Queens, into Roaches. Good target fire, good juggling though from Coffee, keeping the Cyclone alive. Oh my god, once again, barely pulling back, and Coffee's overwhelming this army. He takes down the Lings, works his way through those Roaches. And he zones GogojOey away from his own third base. Now, with reinforcements, GogojOey, he should be able to hold on. This medevac is so low. We have to respect the queens. Up! Oh my god. As Coffee barely does pull back in time. He's crazy! He's going for a drop! Going for a Hellion drop into the main base with barely any HP, but there is no creep here. There's no queens in position, and the Hellions will drop. But there are Lings moving in, though, so GogojOey, he shouldn't take too many losses to this. As he goes to the surround, but the Hellions are saved again. Really good control here from Coffee. He backs off, he goes back home, and he got quite a lot of damage. He was able to kill some roaches, he shaved off some Lings, he got the Overlord in the center, if you remember. Oh, but the medevac went down. I assumed that the medevac was safe, but no, it did get caught out by this queen here, with that kill on it. Oh, medevac did end up falling. At the same time, Banshee comes in from behind. There is no detection. Remember, it was a 1-1-1 opener out of Coffee into the Banshees, into a delayed third TC, and we get 4 worker kills. Now 5, gonna be 6. How far can we go? We're even getting some queens. As we head towards the third base, and this is becoming far too much. Spore finally does finish, and the Banshee's going to be zoned away. But we have a second Banshee coming in as well. We could even try to bully the queens. Behind this GogojOey, he's droning. He's droning heavily, trying to get out of this. We have +1 melees on the way, so he wants to transition into Ling Bane, I imagine. But the Banshees are still wreaking havoc. Still getting worker kills behind this. This is a 2-base. Oh, okay, we're good. I was like, is this a 2-base all-in? Third CC. Okay, we're expanding. We have a 5-rack set up on 3 bases. Standard. We can calm down Coffee. He's just getting into a longer game, getting ahead economically. The Banshee comes back home. 4th base is not cancelled. We still have 1 Banshee in the main, and we get another... Oh, don't get another drone. GogojOey does force it back. And as the game settles down, I have to give the edge to Coffee. Coffee, he's up economically, he's got a decent army, he's getting into 1-1, and GogojOey is still trying to transition here into Ling Bane. Starting off on roaches, clearly this is something that he doesn't want to commit to. And there it is, we have a +1 and +2 carapace on the way. Aliens, they come in once again, getting more drones! No! 4 more workers go down, and here comes the push. The push here from Coffee. He's going to be hitting with Stim. 1-1 on the horizon. It's going to finish up in a couple of seconds. And what does GogojOey have to defend? No bailing speed. He has +1 carapace, but slow banes. With good control, with good target firing, Coffee should be able to deal with them. At the same time, a big link counterattack at the third base. Coffee not in position. SCVs are going down. A lot of workers are falling, but he gets the hatchery. He gets the 4th. 4th base goes down, but that's 15 SCVs. And the tank. Oh, the tank is going to go down as well. This link counterattack getting so much damage done. Coffee had a strong start, don't get me wrong. But this is even stronger for GogojOey. 21 SCVs, Marines, and a tank. A very worthwhile counterattack. And now GogojOey, he's ahead. He may have lost the base, but he kept his workers alive. GogojOey, he kept his drones alive. Coffee's going to keep on pushing. His reinforcements are being caught out. Yeah, the Marines rallying into Ling Bane. At the same time, GogojOey has to just take his time, but he overextends. A couple of roaches, they go down for free. A little bit unnecessary there from GogojOey. But across the map, he gets in once again into the mineral line. 6 more SCVs go down. And GogojOey attempts to take a new 4th. Meanwhile, Coffee, he's still committed here. He doesn't turn back around. And this is dangerous. GogojOey, he's amassing an army. And soon he should be able to collapse. I think he can collapse on this now, but he's going for another counterattack. A wasteful counterattack. This is still pretty close, but Coffee has a pretty impressive army. It was impressive, but here we go. Coffee, he is being collapsed upon. Tanks are going down. GogojOey does clean this up, but at the same time, we have another army on the left-hand side. The Banshees, they're still getting more drone kills. They've got so many already. No shot. They have 20 kills each. You have 20 drone kills on one, 18 on the other. Ay, ay, ay. We have a drop into the natural base, and GogojOey is being pulled apart. Drones falling left and right. That's a second kill on the fourth base, and Coffee can just keep on pushing. He may have been crippled economically, but his main army is still looking strong. And he's snowballing out of control. GG gets called, and Coffee will take game number 1. GG. Oh, very well played. That was pretty back and forth. Again, a solid start out of GogojOey. Sorry, out of Coffee. A very solid start out of the Terran player, but then the Zerg, GogojOey, he fought back hard. An insane counterattack did cripple the economy of Coffee. It did keep GogojOey in it, but he was maybe a little bit too wasteful towards the end there with his Lings. He wasn't preserving them too much. He was wasteful with his Roaches. If you remember, his Roaches, they kind of were left idle and they were also cleaned up, and Coffee, he was able to out-trade GogojOey in those fights, in those engagements, and snowball that into a victory. GG. GG, well played. A pretty intense game there between our two players, and this is what I expect. This is what I want out of Coffee and GogojOey. It's beautiful. It is beautiful, and yeah, from here now we're gonna be getting ready for game number 2. We are getting ready for that second game. Can we get Rufus plushie? Oh, Rufio, Papi, Rufio. We do need a Rufus plushie, or we just need more Rufus. That's all we need. Not wrong. But yeah, really well done there by Coffee to be able to, despite how much economic damage he was taking, he was able to just focus on his army, focus on his harassment, the drop play, the Banshees. Really solid control there out of Coffee. That's what he's known for. That's what he was known for in the past. Army control, and of course speed. His army control, his army movement. Some of the best. GogojOey was having a hard time keeping up. It also doesn't help that the opener from GogojOey was lackluster. Remember, he did rush into Roaches early on, and it didn't really come to pass. Didn't really work out for him in the end, and yeah, here we go. We are now getting into our second game here of the series. Vetoes are done. Lobby has been made, and game 2 is on hard lead. Here we go. And just making sure that everyone is ready for our next game. And personally, I want to see an ace match. Personally, I want this to go the distance here, and GogojOey has it in him. Like, I feel like this first game, it wasn't really too telling just because of how chaotic it was, right? It's like we had an early Roach Horn that didn't really pay off, and that did set GogojOey behind when it comes to the quality of his army. It did allow for a really awkward beginning there from the Zerg player, and I expect us to have a much more stable start here in game 2. I hope so, I should say. I do hope so. Here we go. We are loading in. As a reminder, this is also our last best of 3 here of this region, and then we are going to be going on an extended break, hopefully not too long, but an extended break nonetheless, to get ready for the European regionals, which will be right after this, back to back to back, because after Europe, then we have the Americas. The Americas will be upon us. Hopefully, I won't be solo casting the entirety of the broadcast. I may have another Cranky Duckling join me later on in the evening. It's a possibility. We don't have anything confirmed, nothing set in stone, but I may be joined by the Yaku of the Zaku. Maybe. That'll be later on for the Americas regionals, for the Americas. Oh. As it looks like we may have just a little bit of technical issues here. The loading screen, we're on the loading screen, but usually if we have this much of a weight on it, someone may have timed out, which is unfortunate, but if that's the case, we can always remake, and we can always get back into it as well. And again, I hope everyone in the chat has been enjoying themselves. As a reminder, this is the B stream. There is a main stream that's also ongoing at the moment, and they are mid-series. Let me just quickly double check. They are covering They are covering Jeshi versus Mio Micah. Oh my god, a very juicy ZVP. I'm a little bit envious that I didn't get to cast Mio Micah, but I'm happy with GogojOey. You know, they're both my sons in their own way. So I'm still content here with the series that we do have. Shout out to Wardy. I know that Wardy was slated to co-cast alongside Rotterdam, but I think Rotterdam was MIA, so Wardy has been solo casting as well. Has been holding the fort over on the mainstream, and I'm sure will soon be joined by his co-caster as well. I'm sure. As again, we may have to remake. May have to remake here. It happens from time to time when someone does lag out when loading in. It occurs. It occurs. But yeah, this is still just day two of the regionals. And we have gotten in. I think. Yeah, we're reading. Just to make sure we get everyone in. Just to make sure we get everyone involved. As we are just setting up that lobby again, game 2 is going to be on hard lead. We can talk about the map a little bit here as well. We can talk about the map. The map itself has a very short rush distance, so this actually wouldn't be a bad map for something like a Roach Rush. I don't know if I'm fond of doing it 2 games in a row. So that's the downside here, is that GogojOey already kind of revealed his hand in that first game. But yeah, we are going to have to try to set things up in, or because he already showed that in game 1, unlikely for that to work in game 2, despite the map itself working in his favor. It goes both ways as well, because of the short rush distance by ground. Likewise, Coffee can even be that much more aggressive as well. There are some really good tank positionings that you can take advantage of on hard lead. Can take advantage of them, as we are just remaking and getting back into it. Again, if you want the full ESL Masters experience, you know, open up a couple of tabs, you know, open up the mainstream as well. Keep up with everything that is going on. Keep up with everything that is going on. And here we go. We are once again getting into that second game. Hopefully this time we can all load in. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. The other thing that's a little bit different this season is that I believe in seasons past we would have just like non-stop days of StarCraft. I believe we are going to be covering, or the ESL Masters is going to be running until Monday, and then we're going to be taking a couple of days off for the weeklies for the ESL Open Cups. So we're going to be taking some days off here to allow for the ESL Open Cups to run unhindered, and then we're going to be going back into ESL Masters for the entire month. I think 4 weeks, maybe 5. I'm uncertain, but at least 4 weeks of StarCraft. That's a lot of StarCraft. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of hard lead, we have the red Chinese player here, the red Terran, leading the series 1-0. It is Coffee. And spawning in the top left, we have his opponent. We have the best player in all of Hong Kong, representing the Juggernauts. It is GogojOey. Here we go. Again, we had a very dynamic game 1. Here in game number 2, I guess my eyes are now on GogojOey. We saw him skipping speed and going to a fast Roach Warren, which was scattered, so it didn't lead into any kind of push. GogojOey had to switch gears afterwards. So we'll make sure that the gas is spent on link speed this time. Meanwhile, Coffee himself, he was able to scout. He reacted with a 1-1-1, led into Banshees, and the Banshees, they just Got an insane amount of damage done. Game-ending damage just with the Banshees on their own, let alone the pushes and the control of the rest of the army. As we have a hatch. Gas pool opener here from GogojOey. Standard stuff. Again, I actually haven't really been taking too much attention to the openers here so far in this broadcast, but based on how aggressive GogojOey was, I should point it out. Hatch gas pool, likewise a Rax expand here from Coffee. Everything is looking as it should. SV coming in for a scout across the map, just to make sure that there's no early pool timing, and also to maybe even delay the third CC, sorry, the third base of GogojOey as well. So we're settling into game 2. Ooh, oh my god, never mind. We're calming down, kind of. Okay, so the SV dips in. The SV confirms that this is a hatch first, based on the hatch timing. So Coffee can rest easy. Little does he know, Evo Chamber gets thrown down. Now, a fast Evo Chamber is wild in ZVT. If this was ZVZ, it's like, okay, so +1 melee, we're going for a Link Flood. Here, what are we getting into, I wonder? Reaper dips in. Gonna be vying for control here. This should be +1 melee. This should be a Link Flood. But already 2 Links go down. Coffee getting so much done already. He's gonna get a 3rd Ling. And this is Carapace, not melee. Okay. So, a couple of things are happening. One, I kind of like this. This is very unorthodox. This is not normal. I don't want to pose this as being normal. Rushing into +1 Carapace is more valuable here because of the way that the upgrade works. Basically, +1 armor is applied to every single attack that happens on your units, and Marines have a very high attack rate. Marines and bio units in general, so +1 Carapace is more valuable here in this matchup. Reaper goes in, Reaper gets a full scout. This is looking like a Miyamika build. So Miyamika, he has a build where he rushes into +1 Carapace, yes. He doesn't hit a timing with +1 Carapace. He actually goes Mass Ling, and he hits a timing with +2. With +2 Carapace instead. So I'm curious if that's the direction we're going in. Meanwhile, back at home, 1-1-1. We have a delayed 3rd CC. We have a 1-1-1 opener here from Coffee. Coffee's going to be very aggressive, and Joey doesn't see the starport. He's not fully aware of what's going on. He does catch a glimpse of the army. I wonder if GogojOey is aware, because we need queens. We need more queens to defend. Reaper will be focused down. And Coffee is going to be moving out with his drop. Here we go. 6 Marines. We have a Widowmine as well. We are moving out. A very delayed 3rd base here from Coffee. So there's a lot of pressure on Coffee to get damage done to move out across the map. As GogojOey takes his 3rd. Coffee is hunting down Overlords. We're going for an armory behind this. This is going to be the beginnings here of a Hellbat push. I'm loving it. Meanwhile, +1 Carapace has finished up here for GogojOey. He's taking additional gases. +1 melee starts up at a second Evo Chamber. So again, GogojOey, he's going to have a really fast and really strong 2-1 timing with +1 melee and eventually +2 Carapace. So once we get the lair. But can GogojOey live long enough to actually make use of these upgrades? Second Overlord goes down. No Baneling Nest. No Roach Warren. This Hellbat push could be deadly. Looking at the units tab, we have 4 queens. We're about to have 5. We don't have a lot of queens. By this point, we should have around, what, 7 queens? As we have been skipping them. And here we go. The Hellbats have arrived. Pushing up the ramp. 1 Marine goes down already. Good pick up from GogojOey, and he has to evacuate. He has to just give up this 3rd base. Coffee chasing him down. He dies into the queens, and there just aren't enough of them. They're going to be going down one after the other. We can't transfuse. GG gets called. And just like that, Coffee takes the series 2-0, taking down GogojOey.